All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mask of Nyarlathotep. I am your keeper, and it is my duty and my great pleasure to tell this story with these wonderful people here. So I'm going to go ahead and let them tell you who they will be playing today, and then we will start up our story. And we will start with Sir Monolith.
I'm at Sir Monolith on whatever social networks there happen to be out there that I've touched to. I'm playing Ricardo Castellano today. We're gonna see if he does or doesn't die. Maybe maybe if he asks too many stupid questions, he might find himself in hot water. But I'm confident that him and his compatriots will be able to slide their way through whatever trouble may unfold. You can
All
find
right.
me here, and that's it.
Okay. Next up, Small Shadow Snack.
Hi, Mari. I'll be playing Charles tonight. We're out doing fun things. I missed last episode, so I'm still catching up.
All right.
Okay.
Equal Demon, your turn.
Hey, what's shaking, everybody? I'm Inkpala Demon. You can find me on Ree's Discord, the McStabber Studio Discord under the same name. You can find me on Start Playing Games under that name, and Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter. I'm playing Ezekiel Washington, and I'm conflicted because I want him to use his medicinal skills, but I'm scared what might happen if he has to, or what has happened if he has to. But we're going to be okay because my compatriots are logical, sane, talented beings, and we're going to be all right. It's going to be fine. And I'm going to beat
Absolutely.
gravity.
Absolutely. Last but certainly not least, Classical Glyza.
My name is Glyza, they, he, she, yes, in that order. Today I will be playing Jasper, who absolutely has nothing gone wrong to him or done to him. He's fine. He's one of the most sane people you'll ever meet. It's great.
There are many, many truths and falsehoods in our daily beliefs. But hopefully, for these four investigators, they are able to see and improve upon everything that's going on in New York. But for now, we rejoin our investigators one day after the, let's say, sharing of knowledge that took place at Miss Buckley's estate. The four of you have been able to recover, though Florence seems to be indisposed at the moment. So the four of you have had the opportunity to be served, let's say, a late lunch from the servants, and you all are together. So I ask you, what would you like to do today?
So about that Juju house.
Did about that Juju house.
When are when does everyone want to go?
The sooner the better. But Charlie, weren't you supposed to be meeting up with Adams's wife?
Yeah, I was gonna do that today.
Do you need backup? Do you need people to come with you, or?
If y'all want to tag along, you can. I'm not bothered either way.
I would like to join you, Charlie.
Yeah. With everything that happened, I don't think any of us should be traveling by ourselves for the moment. At least if things happen, the more people together, the more, difficult it is to knock us out.
I agree. And I also must confess a high degree of concern. Feel that I have failed you all up to this point, and I will strive to do better.
You fell pretty hard, so it'll be okay.
I've fallen in more ways than one, my friend.
Well, hopefully one of those isn't too terrible. Uh
Yes. At the
cool.
task at hand, with Millie Adams. Charlie, I know you had a conversation with them before. What was your general read on Millie? Who is she as a person, in your estimation?
Concerned's wife, trying to get her husband free.
You think that she might know more than what she told you?
Probably. Mr. Adams was part of a neighborhood watch, so she was the one who pointed me in the direction of the Juju house in the first place.
Yes, yes. I know that have a dubious estimation of his guilt, and the doctor, the coroner, so to speak, that I spoke to the other day, all but told me he was not capable of such murders and actions. So I do have a lot of sympathy for him and her.
Well, if we can get an interview with him, that would be even better. So we can at least find out what transpired, because if there's anyone looking to get rid of him, painting him as a murderer would be the best way.
Yes. You are very astute and wise, my friend.
Do you think it was an enemy of him, or was he just in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Usually with cases like this, it is they've seen something and they want them to keep their mouth shut,
Hmm.
which wouldn't surprise me in the least bit, honestly, because I feel like there's more going on there than we fully understand. When I went there originally just to do some investigation, people weren't talking. It's usually a sign that there's something going on in the background that everyone's scared of.
I
Yes.
think they're scared of the captain.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk about him either, but if he's tied up in all of this, it wouldn't honestly surprise me.
Ricardo, I know you spoke to him. What was your read on the good captain?
Well, he definitely seemed a little annoyed that I was asking the questions I was asking. Though he wasn't outwardly or overtly threatening, you definitely get a sense that he wanted me to stop asking questions, or that if I answered the questions incorrectly, that there may have been consequences.
I understand. Well, we will just use our discretion and our common sense. Is there a place that we're meeting, Millie? Did she say anything about meeting in a safe place? I know she might not. Well, maybe she doesn't want to meet near her home.
Keeper, did we get anything like that?
Yes, she said she would meet you at the Lafayette Theater on 7th Avenue. It is a large playhouse that may offer you some space to speak freely.
Oh yeah, at Lafayette Theater, if I remember correctly.
Very good. Well, I have I can do some things to kill some time before when we go. Is there anything that could help any of you with before we take off?
No, I don't think so.
Very good.
I am
Prob-
going to take my leave from the Buckley's estate, mostly because I feel like I've overstayed my welcome here, and I do have access to my own rental place.
That is That is actually what I'm doing as well. After the fiasco with the stolen car, I find that my health and moment of eccentricity makes for a good reason to vacate the premise. I will thank. I'm sure I will stop by at some point and thank Madam Buckley again.
As well. Jasper as well.
I will find a hotel suitable and nearby.
Okay. So, for those of you who are looking for hotels to stay, what quality of hotel are you looking for? Something a little cheaper, but perhaps a place that asks fewer questions, somewhere a bit more upscale with all the bells and whistles?
Is
Uh,
it anything in the
is
middle for
there
me?
is there like a house rental, like an Airbnb sort of situation in this time where I can rent a big ass mansion? It's not mine, but it is something I can rent.
I'm going to say such an opportunity would be very rare and difficult to come by in New York City of all places. So I will say it might be something you could invest in over time, but it is not. It is not as easily accessible as a certain modern luxury.
Fine, then a very fine hotel, please.
All right, can I have you both make credit rating rolls to see if you can afford the right place?
I mean, I have like, what's my credit rating? 99.
Yeah, that was
Should be
not
an
the
easy roll to
best.
make then.
Extreme success. It was I got a very nice place.
Hard success. Keeper, I would
Okay.
imagine that might make more sense because my credit rating's 55. I know that in the first session there was some talk of the Midnight Society proffering some aid.
So, my
It's
question
minor
is,
detail.
are you all staying in Harlem or are you moving out into the greater New York area?
Greater New York area.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
want to be in Harlem at the moment.
I'm gonna probably try to stick close to the compatriots because I feel like us spreading out is a bad idea.
All right. Oh, I will say amongst the more wealthy areas, I would say there's a place that you know very well. Well, the Hotel Chelsea, Jasper. The very same place you were meant to meet with Jackson Elias all those days ago. I will
That's fine
send
with me.
both of you. I will send both of you a full breakdown of the place where you have found. But we will say it'll take you probably the better part of an hour or two to get that squared away, to pay and get moved in. For Charlie and Ricardo, what are you doing to pass these 2 hours?
Well, um, assuming I'm bunking with one of the other two or finding a place near theirs, I'm not rich. So,
I can offer Ricardo a place, like another room. Only because Ricardo and I have been buds since the beginning. And Ezekiel and Charlie and I just met. So Jasper is even though Jasper feels a certain sort of connection with Ezekiel, he's not ready to make any hint of like more than that. But Ricardo's fun. Ricardo's a good friend. We've been through hell and back, literally. So if Ricardo
Sure.
needs a place, there's an extra room, and there's an extra room available, Jasper will be willing to pay.
oh,
Sure. With extreme success, it is more than doable. And I believe Charlie already has living arrangements in the city.
Yeah, he's been staying with his aunt.
Okay. So, is it fair to say you all will reconvene near? Well, will you all be meeting up before getting to the Lafayette, or will you meet at Lafayette?
I say at Lafayette.
Yeah.
All right. So, I will say this is about 7 p.m. Let's say. And as you all are arriving, you find the theater is in the heart of Harlem. It is lively. People of all stripes and all economic statuses are moving about, enjoying the situation. Can I have all of you can have the person with the lowest luck make a luck roll?
Well, mine's
My
40
luck's
something.
9.
Yeah, it's probably you.
It's probably me.
Well, that does make the question much easier to answer when one of you has Sophie luck.
Single
Let me
digits.
roll. Are you all ready to? All right.
Y'all ready for this? Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All right, so you all are arriving. Are you meeting up, or are you just going straight in?
It depends. If there's somebody waiting outside, I will go and greet them. If they're inside, I'll just go straight inside.
Okay. All right. So, we will say you all are joining the flow of people going inside the theater. You do find a woman fully dressed, not quite to the nines, but very beautiful, very beautiful black and white dress. Her hair is tied, and she's wearing a shawl, we'll say, that is kind of covering just the edges of her face. And as she looks around, she notices Charlie first, and gestures for you to join her.
You will do so. Good evening.
Hello, is it just you, or?
No, my compatriots should be here shortly. We all were arriving separately, I believe.
All right, do you see them? I'm afraid I won't recognize them.
He'll look around.
And I will be waving as soon as I see them.
Okay. As for his arrival, Ezekiel Ricardo.
yes. Jasper, Charlie. So good to see. Oh, Ricardo. And see you right next to me.
Good news! I have arrived.
You have arrived, and that is good news indeed.
Well, I figured I would add some levity to a otherwise potentially less fun situation.
I am so glad that you said that out in public.
Mm-hmm.
Why, hello, it is nice to meet you. I am Ezekiel Washington. I'm a doctor by trade. I've been told that your name is Millie.
Yes. Before we begin, can we, follow me? There are maybe people watching, and she gestures for you to follow her, and she leads you into the main auditorium, and then into a bundle of seats that are kind of in the middle of a bunch of stalls. And as she takes a seat, can I have all of you make spot hidden rolls, please?
Mm-hmm.
What if she's Cthulhu?
Nothing foreboding about that. That's
Charlie, as you all are entering, you see there is a trio of people sitting at a set of tables a bit further away from where you all are, maybe 30 feet or so, and that seem to be paying a lot of attention to the five of you. Ricardo, as you're walking in, you're pretty sure the usher that is kind of guiding people around or is kind of staring at you. You notice that they're kind of wearing a hat that is kind of like, it's a little red around the front, and then it just kind of has a bit of fabric that's going up to the left. It reminds you a bit of the cult you've been dealing with.
gonna lean over to Ezekiel.
Yes.
That's one of them. Right there.
Keep her.
It's the hat.
I passed my spot hidden check. When I look over at the usher, do I get that same?
You're pretty
Belief.
sure that's just an usher. I mean, you do see kind of how the hat could kind of be interpreted that way, but you're like,
If you squint at it and you're
yeah,
wrong,
you're
gotcha.
pretty sure it's just the person trying to do work.
Ricardo.
Hmm.
No.
Jasper is going to look at Ricardo. It's like, no, Ricardo, I get you. He does look a little suspicious to me.
Oh no. Charlie. Charlie, help.
What?
Well, but here's the question: does Jasper also get that feeling compared to myself?
I would say Jasper, you just noticed that there's a usher just working.
Cool.
Charlie, you see the usher? Does that hat remind you of anything, my dear friend? It
Yeah,
reminds.
an usher.
Thank you. It is. Charlie is most astute. We will side with
I
Charlie.
think more that table over there is a little bit more suspicious. And
Oh.
he'll gently like make a little motion towards that table.
Okay. Yes, I could. They do seem to be eyeballing us pretty hard. Would you like me to go over there and talk to them? Would you like to not draw any further suspicion? What would you like us to do, Charlie?
Wait, when did I become the head lead of this investigation?
Well, Charlie, I had imagined previously that I would be the leader, and then my arrogance caused me to fall down a fire escape, so I am unqualified.
I don't think anybody's the leader, but since you would have to be here to talk to Millie, I think the rest of us should try and
Also,
I mean,
yes,
if
get
you,
eye away from you.
I would say if you guys want to run like interference and distract them.
yes, I could be quite distracting. Keeper, what do these
It's
gentlemen?
true, you can be.
I oftentimes am. I've catch people just staring at me wistfully sometimes. I don't understand it. Keeper, what do these men look like?
The three are all of similar build. They're kind of slender, though you can see there are traces of hard labor in their arms and hands. They are wearing suits, though they are not as pressed as finely as some of the more well-to-do people. They all seem to be of African descent, and as they see you all, you can see they kind of glance over at you, and then they begin to talk hushed amongst themselves.
Oh, can I do a listen check?
I will say you could try, but it will be very difficult as in here because there are ambient conversations going on.
Understood. A normal success. Do I need to spend any luck to bump that up?
You would want, I would say you would need an extreme success to be able to pick something out here, which would be 4. So you have to spend at least 10.
Okay. Oh. That'd take me down to 22. No, I can't spend it on that. I spent a lot of luck last session on something that didn't pan out, so I need to be more conservative. Oh, I do not pick out anything.
Are you all going to sit down? People are starting to look over here.
I thought we've already sat down.
Mhm.
Right now you guys are kind of seated, but you're also kind of like standing and looking over. I would say you are very noticeable. You are the equivalent of people in the middle of a play who are talking to themselves.
Okay,
It's
I
very
will sit down
noticeable.
immediately. I will sit down immediately.
All right. Right. Well,
Ricardo takes a seat and looks around for a glass of water.
there is a. You do see there is an usher going around, and then every once in a while there is a. We'll say, for lack of a better word, we'll say a waiter. You can make small orders of things like that. So water is something you could get. Right. Well, I'm sure you're already aware of who I am, so I would like to know, why are you all interested in all of this?
Well, we are interested in seeing that justice is carried out properly. I
I
bel
I apologize. I thought you were done, Charlie.
Oh, I was just gonna say I do believe Mrs. Buckley was able to get a lawyer.
I had heard about that, yes. I am a bit apprehensive about people who are suddenly acting for the good of other people. So you'll have to forgive me for being a bit skeptical.
Millie, if you want a more selfish reason, we believe the people that are framing you killed our friend.
They murdered my
Framed your husband and has killed one of our good friends.
they murdered my mentor violently and brutally as I was going to see him for the first time in a handful of years.
Oh, that Elias, that writer, you knew him personally.
Yes, I've known him almost my entire life, and he was like a father to me in many ways. Also, a big brother and an uncle, and just a good man who helped people. So I have selfish reasons.
He saved our lives.
And you believe that my Hilton is innocent.
I know he is. The medical examiner told me that when I met with him the other day, that there is no way that a normal person, not that your husband isn't exceptional, but that a normal person would be committing murders that are akin or are cult-like in nature in the manner that they were committed. And I also didn't see your husband in Elias's hotel room the night that he was murdered as well, thus giving me a pretty good indication that he is innocent. Furthermore, the corruption in the police force also makes that abundantly clear. And on top of that, and forgive me if I'm being uncouth, but you strike me as a painfully honest person. So it's quite likely that your husband was a normal, law-abiding citizen and a good man as well. That is my argumentation.
Oh, all right. So, what do you know about the other victims?
That there is no real rhyme or reason or connection amongst them, that they varied in age, gender, socioeconomic class, and so on and so forth.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll start. I'll start from the beginning. Hilton grew concerned when locals started to disappear a few years back. I just coming back from the war and all, so he and a few of his friends, members from who served in the Harlem Hellfighters, they began to organize unofficial patrols up and down the neighborhood to keep an eye out and to protect members of the community. But the 14th precinct didn't exactly take our worries seriously. Even after the bodies started to pile up, police ignored it or accused really, of it being gang violence and robberies gone wrong. The pronouncement of an African death cult by a old crackpot of a doctor didn't exactly help the situation none. But Hilton started to believe in it. He felt that the death cult link was something of importance and tried to follow up at the library. He wouldn't let me see any of his notes, of course, so I don't know too much about how serious it was. I do recall one night he came back and he had a strange piece of fabric that he stuck inside of a notebook. Unfortunately, the 14th people, they showed up and they took it, as well as my husband's army issued a bolo knife. Yes, a bolo knife. I do recall him mentioning the night before he was arrested something about the Juju house. I mentioned it to Mr. Needham Johnson, a reporter at the New York Age. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that paper.
Could you say that reporter or that paper's name again? I apologize, Millie.
The New York Age.
Thank you.
Keeper, this is the reporter that was that Florence had talked to, right?
No, that was Rebecca Schusenberg, and she worked at the New York Times. You guys have not seen or met Needham Johnson yet.
Okay.
Millie, may I ask, this fabric, and I'm going to describe what I saw the night that Elias died and describe it. Does it look like it could be attached to a hat or around the face, red, that type of thing?
It was definitely red. I don't know if it had been attached to anything before Hilton had it, but it could have been. It was a weird looking thing. I don't know much more than that.
Have you been harassed by anybody since you've started your own investigation?
Not directly. Once my husband was arrested, I started to look into things myself, of course. Nothing too dangerous. I've been watching the Juju house a bit. I don't think anyone's noticed me, though. One day I had tried to get a little closer to one of the tenement buildings in the area, and that one was a bit closer than I would have liked, but...
Tell me about that experience, please.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but there is the area where the Juju house is next to this kind of court, ransom court specifically. And well, there's the tenements nearby give you an angle that you can look down on the area. So I had spoken to the owner of that particular apartment, and they had agreed to let me look through their window. I was nearly seen, but by one of the people in the alleyways, and I haven't been able to work up the nerve to go back that way since.
Could you give us the name of that owner in case we would like such a vantage point?
Sure. It's James Johnson, I believe.
Okay. Did you see anything of notice while you looked down there?
I have. Saw crates that were going into the building through the back door. It's possible that it is just a unofficial speakeasy. There are enough of those going around, but something about those crates seemed, I don't know, off. It's just frightening.
Was it something in how they looked, how they were put together? Was it just a feeling?
Just a feeling. Also, hold on. Hilton also realized that there was something connecting the disappearances. They were related to a particular time of the month. And it was always two people, though I'm afraid I don't know too much about the details.
Two people who disappeared the same night or shortly thereafter?
It would be
In succession, I should say. I apologize.
It would be usually about the same time. Then once a month, there's usually a period where lots of people go inside the Juju house, 20 or 30 people. They would gather starting early in the morning, but sometimes wouldn't leave until late into the evening.
You know what? Do you know what day that was? Do you had a clue?
Not exactly. There seems to be different each month from what I saw. Hilton might have had more knowledge on the details. You know, soldiers are better at noticing important details like that. And I was a bit afraid, if I'm being completely honest. It was similar to the times when my husband would go on patrol with his friends, though, so don't know if that was because they had figured something out or if that was circumstance. I've also
Hilton's
seen.
friends. Do you know who they are, and do you have a way of reaching them so that we can talk to them?
Yes, they are usually meeting in a speaking, well, officially a gentleman's club not too far from here, about 2 blocks down. I could give you the address if you want.
Yes, I would like it.
And she does. She removes a piece of paper and a pen from her purse and scribbles down an address and hands it to you.
Thank
Now,
you.
I will also warn you, I have seen members of the police department going inside the Juju house, never at the same time as the large groups, but it is possible that they're involved in some way.
Is there any chance we could also get a chance to speak to your husband at all?
I will do what I can. He isn't exactly in great spirits about, well, not exactly filled with hope and all. But I think I can convince him to meet with you at least once.
It would be, I think, very beneficial. If the police have his notebook, we could at least get from the source instead of having to tip off the police.
Of course, if it'll help, I will do everything in my power. Can I have all of you make a psychology roll, please?
Yeah. Boom, great success. That was real close though.
Just a normal failure.
Alright, well, that's all that I know, I think. Is there anything specific that you want to know about?
Is there anything that we haven't asked that we should ask? Millie?
Well, I'm not exactly a expert on this kind of thing, so I don't know too much. I would be careful, I guess.
Okay. Keeper, can I do an idea check to see if there's anything that I should have asked that I didn't ask, or that we should have asked that we didn't ask?
You can roll an intelligence check. See where you get an idea roll. Let's see. You do not know much about what exactly tied Hilton Adams to this case in the first place. Specifically, how or why, how the police managed to blame him about it to begin with.
Okay, because I remember. I think I remember that from another session. Could you tell us anything regarding how the officers of the law had your husband, how he came across their attention, came under their attention?
Well, they were looking into things, and Hilton started to believe that the police were choosing to turn a blind eye to the situation. And that was something that wasn't exactly, didn't exactly make him a popular man with the 14th, for the 14th. But it was in September of 24 when he was found standing over the body of an older white man, and the police allegedly heard the dying man's screams, and, well, they claimed to have seen Hilton throw his knife away, but he had never seen I've never seen him take that knife out of the house, so I think it's more likely that the police took it when they had came by and, well, made things different.
I see. So they were looking for an opportunity to frame him, and then they found one, or they created one.
Yes, I think so.
Do you have any questions for us? It's only fair. No, you don't know us very well, and now you're placing
Yeah,
trust in us.
bombarding you with questions.
Yes, and I do thank you for that.
Just do whatever you can to help my Hilton. We would, if there's anything I need to do or to help, I will. Just let me know.
Okay. Well, we will give you contact information in case Hilton is willing to speak with us.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, thank you.
No, thank you. And we wish you the very best.
Same to you. I hope your work, your efforts are much more fruitful than mine had been.
You've done a tremendous job, all things considered.
Thank you.
You're very brave.
Thank you.
Okay.
Above table to the rest of the crew, do you want to go to the Juju house first, or do you want to try and talk to Hilton's friends in the speakeasy?
If we could speak with Mr. Adams, he might know things that could help us. And information is power.
You want to split up?
No. Under no circumstances do I want to split up. Unless we are going to the bathroom, of course. That would be appropriate. But other than that, we must stick together.
It is okay, Ezekiel. I will stand outside the bathroom and make sure it's safe.
Thank you, Ricardo. Your courage knows no
Are you having
I guess
this
it is.
conversation in front of Millie?
Yeah, Ezekiel was trying to be funny, and it once again crosses his mind that humor is not one of his strengths. He is smart and pretty. That's what he does. Humor is not one of them. I apologize, Mrs. Adams. There's a reason why I'm a surgeon and not a comedian.
I think you're pretty funny.
He blushes,
So,
actually.
no separation. Are we gonna attempt to talk to Mr. Adams first then?
That is my vote. What do you think, Ricardo? What do you think, Charlie?
Sounds good to me.
Depends on how long it takes to arrange a meeting with Mr. Adams as he's in prison, but I would say maybe his compatriots would be a next best thing. They could at least give us some insight. I also really want to talk to that other reporter.
Mr. Johnson?
Mm,
Okay.
I
Well,
should be okay to do that on my own, though.
Well, how about this? We try and set up the appointment with Mr. Adams, depending on when that is. If it would be quicker, we could just meet with the compatriots first.
So we have a potential meeting with Mr. Adams. We could talk with his allies and the reporter before, and the Juju house.
But finally, the Juju house will be the last time. I feel like we should find out when when the instance where a lot of people show up.
Yes. Yeah.
Did the first reporter that we spoke to ever give us that file I had requested?
Which one?
Uh,
The one on the murder, the other
just-
murder victims?
Yeah.
Yes, you did receive that
Okay,
one
cool,
earlier.
cool.
Alright, it sounds like you all are leaving the Lafayette with hopes and plans for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Hopes and dreams.
That's what we're cruising on, hopes
Alright.
and dreams.
Keeper, as we leave, could I do a spot hidden check on the three gentlemen who are eyeing us, if they're still there?
I will say, since they were pointed out to you before, you don't need to roll. You can see that they are not there right now.
Okay. Alrighty.
Does it seem like they just left, or they've been gone for a while?
It looks like they've been gone for at least a few minutes. You don't see any like trash or anything on the table, so you think, sure, someone else had come by to clean that table at least in the meantime since they've been gone.
Got it.
All right. So, as you all split up to your homes and other living arrangements for the evening, all good to sleep.
Keeper, actually, I would like to use my spiel.
Deal.
Contact.
Which one?
It's the only one I have. The contact of the contact mind of the observer. I don't know. It was a weird thing. I want to know what it does. And I am no longer at Florence's house. And therefore it's fine. Contact mind of observer. That's what I'm gonna.
Indeed, no longer at Florence's house. This is
Yes, which was the request that Florence made to not do any magical things in her house, and therefore, since I'm no longer in her house, this is where I'm gonna do it.
Well, let me double check if the requirements to cast this spell have been met.
Basically, the purpose of me casting the spell is because I want to know what it is and what it does, so that if I do know it, I'm going to, And no, I'm not going to cast it in a room full of people, Sphinx. I am going to cast it in my own bedroom.
Sure. So, as you attempt to cast, you feel something being drained from you as you lose 4 magic points. And you feel something, almost a call, separate from your mind and spread throughout all of New York.
Keeper, I have 0 out of 10 magic points.
You should be 10 of 10 magic points.
Okay,
You're
cool.
not spending it. And you feel this signal, this pulse spread out for over 100 miles in every direction. and nothing seems to respond.
I see. So as I study this spell, do I learn anything else about it?
Did you take the books from Florence's house?
Can I have taken the books from Florence's house?
Your choice.
Yes, I took all of them.
Good. All right, so I'm assuming you wish to continue to study this particular book. So
Which
it'll still
book?
take you. It
Which-
is the Narcotic Manuscripts, which is
Yes.
the one that has this spell. It will take you a few weeks to master this, specifically 45 weeks. But at the moment, you are focusing in on the spell.
Mm-hmm.
And you understand that it is supposed to let you contact members of the Great Race, a collective group.
That doesn't sound racist at all, but all right. let me get access to contact the Great Race.
Outside of Call of Cthulhu, it is very racist, but in Call of Cthulhu, it is aliens. It is a whole different thing.
It's definitely not the name of some really big race that people join up with and compete in.
Like the Kentucky.
You contact the Kentucky Derby and the Indy 500.
Reach my mind. Derby. You talk to the Kentucky Derby and find out why they named their race after a chicken store.
Yes. As you reflect on the nature of your magic, you aren't sure, based on the notes, based on the limited reading you've done, you don't think there is anything close enough for you to contact. And you do see there is something mentioned about a great archive in the western desert of Australia, which may be of interest. But that is all you're able to glean in one night of reading.
Sweet, thank you.
All right. So, unless any of you would like to do anything else particularly risky at night.
Charlie's just gonna go over the file he got from the reporter and all of his notes to see if there's any connections he might have missed, particularly looking at the dates of the victims now that Millie brought it up.
Make me an intelligence roll. Let's see if Charlie is capable of putting some things together.
The hard success.
You're going over it, and at first you don't think so, but then you start to take into account how long the bodies had been dead. And it's not enough to go on. It's not enough to guarantee anything. But you do notice that the dates could align with the date of the dark moon, or the new moon in more modern terms. A date that you know is coming up for January very soon.
Auntie, do you still have your almanac? As he's running down the stairs with his papers.
Yes, dear, it's in the living room and underneath the cabinet. Why do you need it?
Just thinking of planting some plants. Need to see the best date on what to do so. And he's gotta fish it out from where she stuck it.
Okay. You do see that the next date would be January 24th and 25th.
Making a note of that.
All right. And is Ricardo and Ezekiel doing anything? Are we tempting anybody? Are we running down the streets screaming?
No. Ricardo's definitely not doing that. Ricardo, if anything, would be going back with Jasper to rest and relax, and not go looking for trouble. As Ricardo is, Ricardo knows his limits, and Ricardo is not a door kicker detective that's going to go looking for trouble.
That is wise. Right.
Ezekiel's asleep.
Also wise. So the next day, early in the morning, you each will receive a phone call. And the message will be from one of Florence's handmaids, and who will tell you that Rebecca Schoserberg has arranged for a meeting for the Hilton Adams at 12 o'clock today, if you are able to make it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I will assume you all will spend the morning getting ready for your trip. I will let you know that you all would know the quickest and really the only reliable way of getting to Sing Sing Prison is by train. So we will pick up with you four as you board the train an hour before you are scheduled to meet with Hilton Adams. I leave the story to the four of you.
We're in the train.
On the train.
I'm suspicious, so I'm just going to try to look around and see if I find anybody who seems threatening. And I'm going to try to be is this a very busy train? Would it be impossible for us to have like a train cart to ourselves, Keeper?
No, this morning it is pretty empty. So if you all wish to have a car, you can take one and then have the door shut behind you.
Well, it's good to see you all this lovely morning. How'd you all sleep? Jasper, did you get up to anything?
Nothing. I continue to be immune to magic, which is kind of weird.
I'm going to take that as a yes. You did get up to something. Ricardo, how are you?
Happened.
Oh, I am fantastic. I had a very uneventful night and I'm feeling well rested.
Fantastic. And young. You look very youthful today. Especially youthful. Charlie, how are you?
Learned way too much about plants.
Mhm.
He's just
Riv-
flipping through his notebook.
Riveting. I have a small background in biology and pharmacy. Like, if we're just talking about random things that we know that are the plants relevant?
Yeah, uh, connection we overlooked. This all seems to be taking place around the new moon. Is that correct? Which is coming up on the 25th, 26th. So that'd
24th,
be a
25th.
24th, 25th. It was 20 something. I was right, close enough.
I
Is tomorrow for all of you.
I see. And the plants are tied.
Oh, I was reading my aunt's almanac because it's got the dates for the phases of the moon in it.
And the moon grows. The plant. You can see Ezekiel is just so confused, and he's trying to be polite, but he just doesn't know.
No, it's a separate part in the book. I just kind of got bored and read all of it while I was sitting
Oh,
upstairs.
oh, I was scared that we had to deal with moon plants.
No, uh, it'd be a great night maybe to do a stakeout or
Hmm.
just to see
Mm,
what's going on over there. If someone's leaving, we could tail somebody.
I could go for some steak.
Beef is delicious, but that is not the type of steak that the reporter was referring to.
Oh,
No.
Ricardo's probably not really heard the term before.
A,
He's
a
not.
stake out is when you camp, not not literally. It's when you are around an area for a long period of time and you watch it. You're staking it out. What you're thinking of is a steakhouse, which is a wonderful place where they take animals that are dead and cook their meat, and then you eat them and you give them money for it.
Mm, Yes, yes. That is my preferred steakhouse.
Oh. And the train has stopped. Oh.
All right. As you all are finishing up your conversation on stakeouts and steakhouses, you will step out of the train into a small city, though the most imposing part of the city is Sing Sing, a giant of a prison that is equal parts disheartening to see as it is frightening. You all are led towards the prison, and you all are guarded through what can only be described as a patchwork and mazework of imposing stone and metal. You all are quickly searched for any and all weapons and just about any sharp object that is taken from you. Then you are led along a skywalk by 2 guards. As you can see.
I would ask them if we could keep a pen for notation.
Yes, you can keep a pen.
Thank
You
you.
can keep pens and paper as well. As you all are led, you can see the rows and rows of inmates, all of which are talking as you are passing, though you can't understand what they're saying. Eventually, you are led into a 2-story brick building, a prison within a prison, where you see a man, tall, a bit rotund. His hair is kind of beginning to fade on the top, though you can see an attempt has been made to hide that fact. As you are brought before him, he gives you a smile, gestures for you to follow. Hello, my name is George Brunton. I am the sub-warden here at Sing Sing, or I guess a death house, as many have taken to calling it. You will only have 30 minutes for your meeting, and there are several rules you are expected to follow. You are to stay away from the bars at all times. You are not to make contact with the accused. You are not to attempt to exchange anything with him as well. Any attempt to violate any of these rules will result in your immediate removal from the facilities, as well as other possible punishments at all discretion. Are there any questions?
Seems reasonable.
All right, and he takes you to a metal door, and you see him slip a key into it and then open it, and then you are led into a hallway with 2 cells, the first of which is empty. The second is filled with a African-American man in white and black striped prison garb. His cell is cramped with just enough room for a laboratory, a metal bed, and a small desk and chair. There are no external windows from what you can see, though there is just a bit of natural light coming in from a cell that does have windows on the other side from that door that he opened. The man looks at you all and smiles. I would shake your hand, but I don't think that would go down too well, Mr. Brunson. Mr. Brunton goes, You see him step back into the metal doorway, but he does not leave. So you 4 are the people my Millie thinks will make a difference this time?
Yes, we actually spoke to her yesterday.
And how is she doing?
She seems to be doing as well as one possibly could given the circumstances.
Hoped she would give up on all this, but she was never exactly a given up type of woman. So perhaps if you all do turn out to be able to do Say that again, Jasper?
I said you're very lucky to have her.
Well, I've had a lot of time to think about that since I've been here. But I'm afraid we don't have much time, so you all wanted to ask me some questions, right?
Yes. She told us you were part of a neighborhood watch.
Yes, a few friends and I were coming together to deal with some disappearances. The boys in blue aren't exactly winning any awards for their quality of police work.
Any reason in particular you were investigating a particular house in Harlem?
Well, the murders seemed... Before I was arrested, I noticed there was a pattern, or maybe a lack thereof of one, that the police seemed to not pay attention to. The abductions and murders seemed to avoid an area of about 2 blocks, a radius of about 2 blocks of West 137th Street, between Lenox and Harlem, in the Harlem River. Just so happens to be the address of the Juju house. First, I wasn't sure if that was because it was happenstance, but began to notice that, well, the murders have likely been taking place since long ago, at least before the war. I didn't notice until after I got back, but the disappearances took place monthly, all during the dark of the moon, which I suppose makes sense if you're going to take some people. Doing so on the darkest day of the month is obvious. I'm sure you've heard that my knife was found. I've got enough sense to not take a knife when I'm looking into stabbing victims. Instead, I carried my army issue revolver, so it's more likely that the 14th was very convenient with the keeping of certain items and victims.
How did they get your knife?
After I was taken in, they searched the tenements. And they must have taken my knife from my home and covered it in the blood of one of the victims, and white became black, as they say.
Millie told us that your notebook got confiscated as well. Was there anything particularly valuable in it, along with a scrap of fabric you had?
Yes. One day, my boys and we came across a person being attacked, and we managed to scare him off, but in the process, we took a piece of fabric or something from the attacker's hat. I'm still not entirely sure what it means, but it was a weird red piece of fabric, kind of hung from the top. We spoke to Mordecai Lemmings. I'm not sure if any of you've spoken to the doctor, but he told us about a cult of the bloody tongue, and somewhat looks like a tongue if you just look at the fabric from the correct angle. I did manage to watch the Juju house for a bit before I was arrested, and there was a man muscular, bold, African, maybe late 30s, early 40s. Doing nothing of importance. He went to Fat Mabel's, the speakeasy. The people there seemed to give him a wide berth, almost as if they were afraid of getting involved. The man's name, if I recall, is Mkongu Mdadi. Hold on. I already know. There you go. That's how you spell it. I would. Take it you all are friends of that author, Jackson Elias. Sorry about your loss.
He was dear to many of us in many different ways. Thank you for your condolences. I'm sorry that this has happened to you as well. And I'm sorry for the tragedies in your life.
We'll add that up until Mr. Elias's death, the culprits, the cult, had always kept their activities to Harlem. The fact that they've ranged out by so far is concerning. They may have done so specifically for your friend, or they might have be desperate or growing desperate, or either way, I think it would be best if you all were careful.
You mentioned you guys had saved someone. Did you get their name at all?
No, it was hectic, and I was unfortunately arrested not too soon afterwards. I'm afraid I don't recall.
It's
What did he look like?
Oh, 30s, darker skin, African American, if I remember right. Not overly wealthy. I looked like an elevator worker, from what I recall.
And this is not Keeper, this is not somebody we know at all, you like from the description.
No.
This is a bizarre question. All this talk of death cults and all that stuff, do you believe in any of it? Or do you just think that these are people who have chosen some bizarre recreational activity that they take very seriously? Your wife had mentioned that she had seen things herself around the house that made her feel nervous and unsafe. Crates, for instance. And we have reason to believe that there might be powerful and rich people involved in this thing. What do you make of it? In your opinion, what's the heart of the matter?
Oh, I'm a simple man. I've seen more than my fair share of darkness in the war. Oh, I don't know if gods or other creatures exist, but I do know whatever these people are doing it for, they are doing it. Those, if gods are like men, there are plenty of good ones and plenty of bad ones, so perhaps there is something. And at this point, Mr. Brunton steps forward. All right, that has been 30 minutes. You all are welcome to return another day, but must leave.
Can I try to
Yes,
do a
too.
charm roll to see if I can convince him to give us another 5-10 minutes?
Right.
Well, I know that it's 30 minutes, but some of that had to have been, tallied as us walking in and getting settled. I'm sure that you could give us a more handful of minutes so it's a more accurate representation of that time.
I understand your concerns, but the rules are the rules. You all have another opportunity to meet with him before his execution, and well, for now, must ask you to leave.
I see. I see. Well, thank you. Thank you, Morton. I appreciate your consideration. And I'm going to turn to Mr. Hilton and say, would you want to see us again, even if it was less about work and just more about basic conversation or the like? And on his face, not much of an actor, so I can't do it, but on his face, there's an obvious look of concern from Ezekiel to Mr. Hilton.
Well, I don't exactly have anywhere to go. You're welcome to come by. And do wish you the best of luck, and if it isn't too much to ask, please keep an eye on my Millie for me.
We will. We will make sure that she is accounted for and taken care of. She's become quite good friends with Charlie.
At this point, you all are being escorted out of the death house and back through the prison. As our investigators have their items returned and they prepare to begin that journey on the train, I think now would be a great time for us to go to break. So, we will be back in 15 minutes to continue this story, as all roads point to the Juju house. Hello, and welcome back to Call of Cthulhu. We are joining our investigators as... Actually, do you all wish to have a conversation on the train?
On the way back,
On the way back?
I kind of want to mention that he did mention that the disappearance coincided with the busy nights at Juju. Is that something that was actually, am I understanding that correct with what he said?
That does seem to be what he told you when combined with what
And he said the
Charlie
night when
mentioned.
there's
What Hilton said, the dark of the moon, but Charlie had also mentioned that that is the new moon in more modern language. All right, so well, we'll say you guys can have a brief conversation on the train. So you will, as the train begins moving and you're heading back to New York proper, I leave the scene to the four of you.
Do we know when the next new moon is?
The 24th or the 25th, I believe.
Hmm.
And when is that? How far away is that from today? Just so I'm aware.
So I think it's
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It's
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I believe it is.
It's
Well,
currently January the 23rd.
I think we have to go to the Juju house tonight. I know that there were more people that we wish to speak to, but I don't believe we can avoid it. Does that make sense to you all?
it's gonna be tomorrow. We go in tonight and do what? Disrupt their preparations?
Well, we could try to see what they're up to, try to find, after we see what they're doing, try to find a way to disrupt it, maybe uncover exonerating evidence for Mr. Hilton, or maybe I will unleash the dark malice in my heart and murder everyone in the Juju house. Maybe I'll burn it down. Who knows? We'll see where the night takes us.
Fire is an interesting tool.
Effective. They murdered my friend.
What about the others? What do you want to do? Either tonight when we get back to New York, or we're done with this train.
Well, if we go in before the night before their supposed meeting, don't you think it may raise suspicion? Perhaps they'll change their venue, and perhaps if, we try to spring something too early, we'll miss the key players that were, potentially orchestrating all of this.
Do you think it's possible if we go in tonight and hide and remain hidden and see if we could see it when it happens?
You gonna sleep there? You gonna bring a sack lunch?
Maybe.
Perhaps a canteen, get some water,
Ricardo, it's just one night. You can survive without your dinner for a night.
Oh, I don't know. I may very well go hungry. I have
How-
thirst.
How did you survive an excursion into a jungle?
We had mules filled with supplies.
Ezekiel just blinks at you aggressively for 5 seconds. Your point is well taken, I suppose.
Wouldn't want to wander into the jungle unprepared. All manner of horrible fates await those people.
Didn't somebody on your... No, I must not lose focus.
It wasn't due. If your question is, did somebody die? The answer is yes, but it wasn't due to lack of supplies.
Resources.
That was I feel now you're arguing against yours. No, I will not. No. I must maintain focus. Sometimes, in moments of weakness, I want to bond with people and banter. That is not a way to be an effective investigator, nor to serve the Midnight Society.
Okay,
I will
Ezekiel.
do whatever you all go with. You are more seasoned investigators than I am.
Charlie, what do you think about sneaking into the Juju house tonight and trying to figure out what happens tomorrow?
I
Catch them in the
think we would be at a disadvantage as they know that place better than us.
I agree. But I don't think we have any other advantage of going the next day.
We could, or we wait for them to leave and follow them. When I was in the army, you only ever rushed the building if you had confidence that you were going to find something and not die.
Well, my concern is, I think, with it being so close to tomorrow, they may have already taken people for whatever it is that they're doing.
Well,
And
didn't
go ahead.
Millie say that there was an area that you could observe?
The tenements, yes.
I think that would be a
Nearby.
good vantage point to at least see some comings and goings, because who knows if there is a place to hide in there that we won't be discovered.
I wonder if we'll be able to see deep into what they're doing from the tenements.
Might at least give us a eagle-eyed view of any entrances and exits. Oh, good lord, there's cats on this train.
My God, the hospital cat, the famous hospital cat has made its way onto the Harlem train. It's hunting your family, Charlie.
Well, I'll ship it up to Boston. My sister
If-
seems fond of cats.
It will find its way there naturally. You needn't waste the postage. I don't know what to do. Part of me thinks we should go in and try to shop and see if we can find anything that way. But then what if they recognize us? There's part of me doesn't want to go there when there's a mass gathering, because that just means there's more people who could kill us.
I mean, what kind of a mass gathering are we talking? I mean,
20 to 30
If it is a
people.
mass gathering, maybe we could join as mass people.
yeah, we could get some robes, play dress up.
No.
Just sneak in, we'll probably. If we did Jasper's idea of hiding somewhere, we could hide somewhere in the house and have the robes ready, and then just toss them on and mingle with the crowd, and maybe they wouldn't know the difference. We'd have to find some robes first, though.
Do we know what type of robes they wear for this particular?
Would it be
Plan-
easy to assume that what the cultist was wearing to kill me might be something that we could recreate? Was he wearing a hood or a cultist robe sort of thing, Keeper, when he was attacking me?
As you recall, he seemed to be dressed normally, except for the strange headpiece with the tongue.
We still have the
like
headpiece,
fabric.
correct?
Sure, I would say you still kept it, unless you wanted to get rid of it.
No. Well, shall we vote on the decisions on what we'll be doing tonight or tomorrow?
Before we do that, I would like to add something. We know the name of the proprietor of the house. His name is Silas. Is it worth doing any investigation upon him? Maybe that could give us an in. Because if not, I would just say, if they operate at night, why don't we operate at night? Why don't we break into the house at night? I don't know. I will do whatever you all say.
I mean, if they operate at night, breaking into it at night would be a terrible idea because everybody's there. If we're going to break into it, we break into it during the day.
But they're open during the day. You can't, by definition, break into some place that is open during the day.
Well,
Are they open during the day? I thought they were a club.
They're a storefront, I believe.
As far as you
A
all know,
juju house?
Juju House is a African curio shop.
I
You have
see.
seen people.
Why am I
you
thinking
have
it's like a
heard-
clubhouse where people party?
I don't know. You have been told there is a back entrance that they have been using to load things in. So you do not know much more about what happens inside the building.
so you're saying we should sneak in through the back door?
I have not
Noted.
seen
That sounds like an excellent idea. Perhaps we can find a delivery and make ourselves into potential delivery men.
Deliveries?
We could
Yeah.
put ourselves into the crate
Mm-hmm,
that could carry us.
Yeah, they can put ourselves into the crates and they can just slide us right in the back door.
At the very least, maybe we could watch the place at night and then come to a decision then, after visiting it during the day. I think we should try to visit it during the day. I don't know though.
I mean, daytime is good. It's just if we have, although our plans are getting somewhat complicated for the limited amount of time we have.
You are incredibly correct. Let's start at this. Who has an idea that they strongly believe in?
I think we should do something today that
I
involves investigating the Juju house.
I agree. Do you mean that during the day or during the night?
What time is it now?
Keeper, what time is it now?
Just say by the time you arrive back in New York, it'll be about 1:30.
Okay.
I would say 2 people go in, at least pretend to be customers. Get at least a look and see what we're dealing with. 2 people at the tenement, keep an eye out.
I think that's a good idea.
we can meet at the tenement and decide if we want to try and get in after closing hours or not.
Okay. I would like to go. I don't think I should go with Jasper though, because we get silly when we're amongst one another.
Indeed. And also, I have a feeling that the cultists know who I am.
This is true. One of them almost murdered you.
I don't know what a tenement is. I'm just using words that people use. Keeper. Why'd you ask that in public, huh? In a private chat. Jamie, that's like,
Damn Keeper's getting read to filth. Defend yourself, Keeper.
For all of you,
Fight,
as you
fight,
all
fight,
would
fight.
know, a tenement is what we would call not exactly the same as an apartment building, but they're very similar.
Yeah. You
Anyway.
can still meet by them. I know what you're saying, and with the Mrs. Adams had that not bird's eye view, but that heightened view when she looked down and saw the crates out of one of the tenements, and she gave us the name of the gentleman. I wonder if he would let us look out of it.
I bet he would after he was very kind to let Millie look.
But he might know her, and
Then we will say that we come at Millie's advice.
well, one of you's rich, so you can just give him a lot of money. That solves a lot of our issues, I suppose. Okay,
Sure.
who wants to accompany me to the Juju house during the day? I'm also more than willing to go by myself as well.
No, friend,
I
absolutely
advise Ricardo stay
not. Oh,
because Ricardo has met with the captain.
but I already came to the Juju house with you.
Have you already come to the Juju house?
Perhaps I'm imagining things. It's
I
been a
don't think
long
you've
day.
gone to the Juju house. I don't
Charlie-
think anyone.
Charlie, would you go to the Juju house with me?
I'll come to the Juju house. The captain will never know.
If he's working with them, he might very well.
Oh, well. You know.
If you want,
Maybe.
Ricardo, Charlie, one of you two, somebody may accompany me, or no one may accompany me to the Juju house.
Strength in numbers. We don't leave our friends behind.
That doesn't answer the question, Ricardo.
My
Who is
God,
going? I obviously cannot go.
I think the hospital cat will accompany me. Its magical powers will protect me.
Okay, it sounds like you four wish to split up. Mr. Ezekiel Washington going to the Juju house.
He is. He is
Does
going to the
anyone
Juju house.
wish to accompany him inside?
I will
Jasper
do
will
so.
be viewing from afar in the tenement apartment house.
I was just going to ask you if you were going to reside in the tenement, Jasper.
in the tenement apartment houses.
Sure. So
I don't think we need the extra qualifiers, but that's okay.
Jasper and Charlie will attempt to observe from one of the tenements. Are you all doing this as soon as you get off the train, or are you waiting for some more time to pass?
I'm going straight there.
All right,
Same.
off we go.
All right, so
Ricardo's dressed in casual business wear.
you all split up and attempt to tackle the problems separately. And we will begin with Jasper and Charlie, who are attempting to gain access to a large row of tenement housing. So,
We have the
how
name
exa-
of the person
were-
that
we're told. I believe I said his name was James Johnson.
James Johnson.
Yeah, it was a Mr. Johnson.
Uh-huh.
You know,
John
somebody
Jacob.
with two last names.
James Johnson
Or-
actually works for the Juju house because it's double J.
Does he know a John Jacob?
He does. Jingleheimer Smith.
Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
We
His
just found
name
out
is
the
my
theory.
name too. Whenever we go
Come
out,
back.
the people always
Come
shout,
back
"There goes that."
together before I get in trouble. So,
it's public
Charlie and
domain.
Jasper, how are you all getting access to James's apartment?
I will talk. I will knock and talk to the guy.
I'm gonna be polite.
I'm not gonna
Alright,
break into his
so
tenement.
you were never told which apartment was his, or did you actually ask?
I'm
So,
going to ask around.
sure. So
We're
let's see.
looking for James
Roll
John.
me. Roll me. We'll do a group luck roll. So you're one. Well, Jasper, roll me a
Don't
luck roll.
make our luck roll. My luck
And
roll is 9. Why
so
would it be hard to
complicated.
ask around
You
where
don't.
John James?
We are seeing if he is here. So make a luck roll to see if he is present. Not my
Luck
fault.
roll
You
is
chose
so
to
low.
spend all of your luck, Jasper. Just consequences.
You know, there. I'm gonna push it. Fuck. I mean, sorry. Sorry to the people watching. I'm gonna push it.
And we have now been
And
demonetized.
it's
Thank
bad. Sorry. I fumbled.
you. Mhm.
Okay. So,
Well, I didn't fumble. Well, I guess it is a fumble.
all right. A lot happened. A lot just happened. So, all right. So Jasper and Charlie, as you are asking around for Mr. James Johnson, you begin to draw the attention of several people who kind of live in the tenements and are just working around them. And as you begin to ask more and more questions, Charlie, roll me a spot hidden roll, please.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh damn.
All
that's failed.
all of our questions only is one question. Hey, where does James Johnson live? We want to speak to him. Why would that draw attention? Just
You push the roll, Jasper, and those are the
I don't
rules of
like.
the game.
We could do
Sorry.
something different, but it doesn't make any sense for us to be
No,
like,
you're asking too
"Hey,
many
where's
questions.
James Johnson? We
No.
want to speak to him."
No, you're asking too many questions. So, unfortunately, as you look around, people have stopped answering your questions. They are not being mean to you or rude to you, but you have very quickly gone from being unnoticed to people avoiding you, let's say. So how do the two of you proceed?
Does this place have like rooftop access?
Sure. I'll say there's a fire escape you could climb.
Yeah. Just
I've been
gonna
lucky with fire escapes.
just some rooftop access then.
Okay. I will be nice enough to say you're able to access the ladder so you can go up without too much of an issue. And after a short climb, you find yourself standing on the roof of the building. You look over, I assume, into the neighboring office building. Well, the Juju house, and you see that the building itself is a part of a courtyard, and you can see there are people who are seated inside the alleyway. Well, they seem to just be kind of huddled over on the ground, sitting with their backs against the stone wall. You do see across from the Juju house in the same courtyard is an abandoned building of some sort, though you aren't sure what kind from where you are standing. Anything else you two wish to do while you stand on top of this building?
I offer Charlie a nice cup of coffee from my thermos, assuming thermos existed in 1920.
We'll say
They-
cups. There are cups. I'm not sure if the thermos existed
Let
in
me
the
see.
20s, but some sort of vessel. I'm pretty sure military would have had something.
Yeah.
Definitely had canteens in one form.
They
or
had
another.
it in
Yeah.
1920.
1904 it was created.
Sweet.
So, yes.
I take out a very nice and very rich thermos filled with hot coffee to share with Charlie and I as we do a stakeout.
Mm.
Okay.
When we get down from here, we should probably walk by that abandoned building just to see what it is.
I agree.
Because maybe they don't do all their nefarious dealings there.
It also makes sense if it's an abandoned place, that would be a good gathering area as well. Maybe that's where they keep the people they steal before killing them.
Makes sense to have a separate location. Let's hope those two don't get into any trouble inside.
Right. On that, we are going to switch over to Ezekiel and Ricardo. So, as your companions have done their jobs, how are you two proceeding?
Well, I'm just wearing, my normal everyday clothes, and I tend to dress, fairly nicely. I probably wouldn't stick out in a place like a fancy shop like this. So, I would make it a point to bring a decent, not all of my money on me, but a large amount of cash, at least for the time. Enough that I think that I'd be able to walk out of there having bought something. Would that be a credit rating check? Or
Let's see, what is your disposable income list? So you could have, I would say, on a short notice, you could have about $275.
okay. All right, I'd walk in with, and that's a lot of money back then, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'd walk in with 275.
Okay, Ricardo's following him, dressed fairly casually as well. Just like a brown ankle length duster trench coat with a vest and button up shirt and pants, because who the fuck wears shorts in the 1920s? Unless we're going swimming, I guess. But then that'd just be underwear.
Okay, sure.
You
So
look nice.
you enter the building. You find that it is a small building, about 15 feet on the inside, and it is dirty, it is dusty, and dimly lit. Can I have... Not yet. You can see the room itself is covered in, could only be described as kind of African tribal artifacts. You see things like devil mask, leather-headed drums, stuffed model giraffes, wildebeest, and a variety of other animals you'd expect to see on the African continent. Here's this
I'm sorry, would you repeat that last? You said a wild, my internet glitched. I apologize.
wildebeest.
Wildebeest, okay.
Carved wildebeest, yes. There is a single man in here, an older gentleman, maybe in his late 40s, maybe older, you can't quite tell, wearing what looks to be like a colorful blanket over his body. And his skin is almost leathery to look at. And as he sees you enter, he gives you a smile. Good day. If there anything I can help you with, please feel free to ask.
Yes, it's nice to meet you. I am Ezekiel Washington. This is my friend Ricardo. I am here as a reference, or I got a reference about your wonderful shop from Dr. Lemmings.
Yes,
I am a,
I do recall him.
I know
letting
him
me
through
know.
the medical field. He's an acquaintance of mine. He showed me, well, he was going to show me a couple of his purchases from here, but I met him at his office, so it was not quite possible. I find myself interested in your line of antiquities, and I was wondering if you had anything that you think would be, well, anything that you would recommend.
Oh, well, there are plenty of things of the discerning gentleman. What specifically are you interested in? I've got animals, I've got a variety of masks. The drums are fairly popular with sort of the upper classes.
I'm gonna keep her. I'm gonna look at everything that he kind of points out and make small talk ask logical questions about them. But and I'd like to do a charm roll. But after I look at them and I inspect them and I ask the logical questions and things of that nature, I'm gonna give off an air of being like, yeah, that's nice, but not. I don't know what I'm looking for yet, but I just haven't quite found it. Does that make sense with a charm roll?
I would
I'm-
say if you are trying to appeal to him, you can roll charm. If you're trying to convince him that you have knowledge of this stuff, that would be an occult roll. So I would say
Uh,
you could roll both of them.
Could I do the charm first?
Just roll them both at the same time.
Okay. Oh dear God. That didn't work. Occult. Please don't fail me. Not very good at anything.
Does any of the
May
stuff stand out
push-
to Ricardo, like with his, kind of affinity or enthusiastic study of the occult?
You can make another roll.
Okay. Maybe I will.
You can always roll for it.
Ooh.
Goodness, an extreme success. Okay. Looking at it while Ezekiel and Silas are discussing things, you can see a variety of these things are, most of them are just statues and decorative pieces, but you do see some of them are aspects of traditional African rituals. What you do notice is that a lot of them are from a variety of places, not just one centralized area. It's almost as if the shop is collecting memorabilia from throughout the entire continent. I would say nothing you've seen or continue to see seems as real as the things you've encountered in the books of what you read at Miss Buckley's house. These seem more normal occult from what you understand.
I'll show-
Yes.
Okay.
ahead.
I mean, I won't. We're standing here talking, to the guy, so I'm not gonna just be like Ezekiel. Blah, 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 blah. But I'll share with him later on when we if Ricardo remembers, who knows, we might get distracted by all manner of other interesting events here.
Yes. I have a few things you may find interesting. There's a mask from a Maasai people. If you would like to give it a look, and he guides you over to a wall. And can I have whichever one of you has the lowest luck score, give me a luck roll.
What's your luck?
32.
Okay, that's lower. I got 46.
Luck roll.
Nice. Very nice.
All right. He leads you over to a wall, and he begins to pull off a wooden piece that is. It seems to be rather old. You can see it has kind of been hand carved, and he hands it over. Very, very nice. Somewhat recent of an arrival.
Can I do a spot hidden check on it or try to I don't
Yeah,
know,
what-
say
what-
use my go ahead, sorry, Ricardo.
Oh no,
this
you're
is your
good.
turn.
I was gonna say what would you need for us to roll to like examine it more carefully?
You can do something along the lines of anthropology, archaeology. I will say spot hidden won't apply for this particular thing. You're not looking for something hidden within it. You're looking at more of the quality of it. If you have any art related skills or art, African history, something like that, that would apply.
Well, I don't have anything like that. Ricardo will still try to suss something out, but It's probably not going to have a whole lot of luck at it. You said archaeology or anthropology?
Yes. Or
Okay.
appraisal. I guess appraisal could work too.
I'll do a
Different,
phrase.
slightly different information.
Ricardo Wilson, try here. Yep, definitely not.
Looks like a very
Yes,
good
very.
wooden mask.
Yeah, it's a fantastic looking piece.
Would you tell us more about it? I find it fascinating. If I am to be blunt, as a surgeon, I oftentimes find myself surrounded by death, and over the years it has, maybe it's a grim thing to say, but I find it fascinating, and I find those who are also fascinated with death also fascinating.
Are you trying to slip particular information to this old man?
No,
Seems thoughtful.
I'm actually, what I'm actually saying is kind of the truth, because Midnight Society, that connection, I might find them fascinating and abhorrent, but I do find cults like the one that I think he's connected with to be fascinating as well. And I am a surgeon, people die. Not on my table, I'm quite good, but you know what I mean. Well,
Are
I'm
you
not always good.
trying to ask him about cult? Is that
You
the
could, I'm hinting at
goal?
something. I'm hinting at something.
Well, I don't think I have anything directly related to death here. I mean, there are some blunt weapons. I have a sword from the Maasai somewhere here, as well as
No,
a few other swords, if those are of interest.
what I mean is like things such as artifacts or curios related to groups of people who are involved in death. The word ritual might come to mind, or worship, but I'm just saying, it's a part of our world's history.
Oh, luck roll, Ezekiel.
How about charm? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I hit luck.
No, not really being charming in this case.
Ezekiel is always charming, keeper. Ha! Holy shit.
There is a brief moment of concern that flashes across his features before he returns to the kindly old man. I don't think so. If you could give me your information where I could contact you, I may be able to let you know if I procure something related to what you are interested in.
I'll take a business card. Mostly I travel a lot for work. I recently came in from Miskatonic. In a week or so, unfortunately, I will be at a conference, I believe in Arizona, and so on and so forth. I get to travel a lot. But I must be honest with you, I prefer to give a place such as the Juju House my money than some, middleman who sits in a desk and doesn't have any real connection to anything, if that makes sense.
Of course, well, I will do what I can as with the time constraints, and we'll see if there are any other shops nearby or anything coming in soon.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate it. Keeper, this in this little lull, can I do a spot hidden? I'm looking for like a trap door or
You can make a spot hit roll.
okay. Hold on.
Spot hidden. You see around his neck is a leather strap with a kind of thick key connected to it.
Can I tell what the key might open, or is it just like it opens something with a lock?
You have no idea.
Okay, it's worth an ask. Anyway, tell me more about this mask. It is fascinating.
Well, it is used to ward off dark spirits, from what I recall, unpleasant business, and dark dreams, and all the like. It is not too expensive, $10, and you can have it if...
Ward off dark dreams, you say? Hmm. Can I do a psychology check to see if he's bullshitting me?
Ricardo's kind of glancing around at all the other stuff in the store. You know, are there any visible like books or anything like that?
You can make a spot hidden roll, Ricardo.
Okay.
It seems legit to you, Ezekiel. Looks like a mask. Could probably be scary. But Ricardo,
I'll buy
as
the
you
mask.
look around, right? Ricardo, as you look around, you notice behind the counter where he had been standing, there is a rug. And towards the front of that rug, there is a spot where it seems to sink into the ground just a bit.
I'll buy. Well, I might chime in on the conversation they're having about the mask now, just to ask a separate question. Do you carry any interesting books on, I don't know, maybe more obscure knowledge, or stories from these parts of the world? I'd be fascinated to read some more stuff. It's so hard to find good literature on some of these regions.
Oh, there are always books of interest. They are rather popular. Do you know specifically what you'd want to read about? Do you recall having something on marriage proposals and old Guinea that is of interest to you?
I was thinking more along the lines of occult practices. I find it a fascinating topic of study, seeing the different ways different cultures have approached things like deity worship, or uh, sometimes different rituals that they may conduct as part of their own individual kind of you know cultural setups there.
Oh, I'm afraid I don't have anything that meets your expectations. Perhaps if you would give me your contact information, I could let you know if something comes in.
Oh, absolutely. Ricardo's going to write down the phone number of the hotel. And just his name.
Oh, do you put your first and last name?
No, just the first name.
Okay. Alright, well, if there is anything else that I could interest you in?
Ricardo looks to Ezekiel. I don't know, Ezekiel. Did you have any further questions for the gentleman?
No, I'll take. Well, actually, I suppose I do. How much for, this mask, the that nice wildebeest piece, and the giraffe piece? Would you do a discount if I bought all three?
Oh, good choices.
Have them for $15, I suppose. Well, $12.15.
Oh, let's just do 13. Easier enough. Did you gift wrapping? I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. Just a sorry, us surgeons aren't very well known for our humor. I keep trying, and I keep failing.
Okay. And as Washington and Ricardo finish up their purchase, let us see how Charlie and Jasper are doing.
See, we didn't die. It's okay.
On the roof, we're drinking a cup of coffee and we're looking into the building.
look it out on this courtyard, yes. You do notice that there are some people who come and go from the area. It isn't until about 20 minutes after Ezekiel and Ricardo have stepped inside that you see a trio. One is a smartly dressed white man, maybe in his mid-20s. And he steps to the other two for just a moment before you can see something change hands, though you aren't sure what it is from the angle you have. And then he leaves. Second is an elderly African American man with very little hair, dressed in a very old fashioned suit. He doesn't seem to say anything, and he just kind of stands to the back of the third man. And the third man is a muscular, shaven-headed African man who seems to match the description given to you by Hilton Adams from Congo Mdodi. Do you do anything from the roof?
I don't think there's anything we can really do from the roof other than watch, right?
Charlie's
watching.
gonna take out his camera and take some photos.
Okay.
Jasper is going to take notes of everything that they're doing because Jasper has a camera, but it is not apparently the one that you can easily take around, and you have to have like a crew to carry it around. Fortunately, Jasper left his crew in his mansion back west, so
Okay.
doesn't have it. So he just takes
Alright.
notes.
Okay. You get some good notes. Charlie, you get a few pictures. I assume you would like to try and get all three men together. Is that?
If possible.
You take the images. The white man and the elderly African American man leave. And then you see the third one, Congo. He begins to leave down the street, separate from the other two. And as you see him walking away, you do not think you will be able to keep an eye on him from this building for very long.
You want to follow him, Charlie?
Yeah, I'll follow him.
I mean, do you want to follow him together? I don't want you to be by yourself. Because last time I was by myself, I got stabbed right here.
I mean, yeah, we can go together.
Then let's do it.
All right.
Tucking the camera back into his bag.
You are trying to follow the people. Can I have you roll stealth? Unless you'd like to be seen, in which case.
Ooh, let's see how well this goes.
Stealth is not that great.
Yup.
Alright.
All right.
Should I push it?
I mean-
always a choice.
But nothing
I'm
bad
sorry.
ever
I'm
comes from
talking
pushing
to
it.
Ari, Ree
You know,
here.
you know
Not
what?
the keeper.
You know
Talking
what?
to Ari.
What the heck? We could push it.
Yeah, let's push it.
Push it real good.
Yeah, no, it's still not good.
Nope.
We're
As
just really
you
bad at this.
To follow him, he steps down an alleyway and is in the middle of turning towards a shop, the back door of a shop, one you've heard of, a Fat Mabel's, the speakeasy you warned about. But as you attempt to follow, you bump into a man who is walking out of the speakeasy, and you can see he's been drinking a bit, because as you bump into him, he turns and he yells at you, "Oh, get out of the fucking way." And as he says that, you see Congo turn around, look at both of you, and then keeps going inside the building.
I will help the drunken man Because he says, get out of the fucking way. I'm like, apologies, good sir. Do you need help walking around? I can help you to your destination.
Oh, leave. Well, no,
Thank you. Have
that'll
a good
be.
rest of your day. Goodbye.
And he stumbles off down the street at 2 in the afternoon.
Hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
True.
Let's hope the cops don't pick him up.
Well, I don't think he would notice. He would remember what we look like. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he is drunk out of his mind. So,
Well, at least he
not a
came
very
in.
reliable witness, I think.
Yeah,
We've been spotted.
Yep. Well, at least we know he came here, so there's going to be a connection between this place and the other place.
Do you want to just go in and roll our luck?
I think it'd be better with all four of us.
All right. Well, at least we know where he went, and we could just go and let's go meet with the others then.
Yeah.
All right. As you all are making your way back to the Juju house, Ezekiel and Ricardo, you step out onto the streets, and what do you do?
I would.
We're carrying some new toys, so.
Yeah. Actually, if there is a stoop or someplace nearby where I could kind of like post up on and just kind of look at the stuff that I got, I do find it interesting. But honestly, I'm just kind of killing time. I'm just presuming that either our compatriots are going to come down and find us. Actually, I'm just presuming that they're going to come down and find us, honestly. I don't know if we talked about who would find who. Because I don't know where they are, because I didn't know where Mr. Johnson's apartment was.
All right. You will stay seated for, we'll say it takes about 20 minutes before Charlie and Jasper return. You see that they are coming not from the tenement building, but from down the street. And as the four of you reconvene outside of Juju house, I leave the story to you.
You see me and Ezekiel carrying some interesting things.
What'd you get?
I mean, it's hard to not see what we have.
Wildebeest, giraffe, mask. Spooky.
Yeah.
I see. My question was more of why do you have it?
Oh.
Than
Oh.
what is
Well,
it exactly?
Well, why don't you just ask why then?
Yeah, you did ask what.
Questions, answer them.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Hold on now, Jasper. But no need to get hostile. We're all friends here.
I whispered to Jasper, well, I represented myself as somebody who's interested in these sorts of things, so it made sense that I came in with money and I bought these sorts of things.
I see. Thought it might be pertinent to our investigation. That's why I asked.
Well, I was going to ask if you wanted the wildebeest or the giraffe, but since you hold these things that I like in such disdain, I suppose I will just put them back in their little box. What'd you get?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you say that. I didn't hear you offer the wildebeest or the giraffe. I would like the giraffe if you're still offering.
Giraffe. And I take the giraffe and I dance it over to you. I go, wildebeest.
Is it a mask or is it just a toy?
It's a carving.
It is. Yeah, it's made out of the wildebeest is made out of stone.
I will hold on to it.
The giraffe is a stuffed animal, though. Well, no.
Then I
To be
the
clear,
giraffe.
it is a stuffed giraffe. Actually, you know what? Let me double check to be sure. If it was a stuffed, I don't think it's an. Yeah, it's a model giraffe, stuffed model giraffe. Just not the head of an actual giraffe.
Mm-hmm. Ricardo, when I bought this mask, I thought of you, quite frankly.
Oh, I thank you. And Ricardo's going to relay to him the additional information he kind of gleaned about the mask.
Oh, well, crap. Do you want it still?
Maybe it'll be useful when we go try to infiltrate their meeting.
I hand him the mask. I go, Charlie, I don't have a joke or way to? I bought you a wildebeest.
Oh, thank you.
It can go, since you've been reading about plants. Maybe you can use it as a garden gnome type of thing. Except
Well,
in this instance, it'd be a garden wildebeest.
weirder things have been found in yards in Boston.
That's horrifying, actually. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. We saw the gentleman that Mr. Adams was talking about. Looks like he went to the speakeasy around the corner. Pretty sure Jasper and I were spotted. We're not too good at the whole sneaking thing.
No. But they did go to that speakeasy that Millie talked about.
Mm. Should. Well, what makes sense for our next course of action?
Well, so there's that abandoned building. I did want to take a quick loop around.
Yeah,
Couldn't
let's
see
do
what
that.
it was from the roof.
That makes sense to me.
All right, you guys are attempting. You do see it from the street. It appears to be an old pawn shop. There are several. The front door is boarded up. If you wish to try and enter through that way, you can also look around and see if there's any windows that can be broken or opened.
Just kind of doing the good old loop around it to see what we can see.
Are you guys going together?
No need to be an E if there's no
Going,
reason.
If you're going together, I need a group luck roll to see if you find an open window.
I'm gonna stay at home.
I'm sorry.
I'm not coming. I'm gonna stay at home.
There's nothing I can do about this. I'm sorry.
If you guys wanted to
Correspondence.
head to the speakeasy, I'll catch up to you guys.
Mm.
I can go to the speakeasy.
I'll go to the speakeasy.
Sweet. Now the luck roll no longer belongs to me. Ha ha!
I only have wait, how much luck do you have above table? I'm just curious.
Above the table. Mine?
Yeah.
Not-
I'm at 32. But at least it's better than
Every luck roll is just Casper. I'm sorry.
yeah, it just existed. Yeah, no. Okay.
Well, between Charlie and Ricardo, who are looking into this building, whoever has the lowest luck, give me a luck roll.
I think our luck is even the
Right.
same.
Whoever
46
has the most?
or the least.
Lowest,
Least
okay.
amount of luck.
I have
Uh,
46.
I also have 46.
All right. Well, Ricardo, you roll.
Okay.
You can
Nope.
have the judgment.
Nope.
No, I don't think so. I think Charlie should roll.
That is too late. Ricardo's already rolled. All right. So as you look around, you do not see any open windows or anything like that. So you think you will have to break in. I would say, looking around, you figure you have two options. You could either try and go through the boarded up front door, or you can try and break one of the windows and kind of crawl in that way.
Can we just look through the window?
Yes, if you just want to look inside, yes.
Yeah, just want to look inside. No need to
Roll
break and enter if there's no reason.
I
If you
mean, well,
don't, if you just wanted to look.
Ricardo's also going to relay the fact that he may have noticed an odd something behind the counter. The carpet the gentleman was standing on, Ezekiel, seemed like a portion of it was sinking a bit lower than the rest. Like maybe perhaps there was a loose floorboard or maybe some sort of trap door.
Makes sense. Most places in the New England area have basements, which is good to know because that might be helpful if we decide afterwards to do some after hours excursions.
Yes, and especially if they happen to be up to some nefarious activities that we believe them to be. I doubt they would be doing it in the main room for onlookers peeping through the windows to see.
Right. As
What do we
you
see
look
through the window?
through, as you look through the window, it's hard to see. It's pretty dark. From what you can tell, it has not been used in quite some time. The inside, what remains of the wooden shelves are broken or falling apart. Every once in a while, you can see what looks to be small rodents crawling about. You'd have to go in to see a few more detail, though.
Think this place is a bust.
Well, there's only one way to find out for sure, but we don't need to do that now.
Yeah, let's head to the other two.
Hmm.
I think we could use a drink.
Yeah, and besides, I'd rather have safety in numbers should we decide to get up to no good.
Mm-hmm. At least Jasper should be able to buy the cops off.
All right. So, Jasper and Ezekiel, you all are making your way down to Fat Mabel's. All right. Are you guys just gonna walk up to the door and try and get in? Are you gonna try something else? How are you proceeding?
Yeah, I'll walk up to the door.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason for us to
Yeah, I'll do a
stealth or anything.
yeah, I'll do a spot hidden to see if there's like any danger or something, just as a general, thought
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna do
do.
that too.
Sure. Go for it.
Nope, nothing there.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Can I push it?
Sure. I will say, looking around you can tell there is some sort of bouncer or a bodyguard who seems to be just inside the door as you kind of see other people come in, and then there seems to be a brief moment where the person you can see seems to be speaking to someone else that you can't see. But other than that, you don't
Okay.
see anything concerning.
Okay. I'll just walk up.
Yes.
I'm here as a customer.
That's the password.
The password is pull out a $20 bill.
He will accept it.
We'll add more to
Okay.
that. I will add a $50 bill.
Oh,
He definitely accepts it, and he does let you in.
Sorry. It's like, thank you for the money. Door stays closed.
I do. I shoot him. No, I do ask him, by the way, what is the actual password?
Teacup.
Teacup.
Oh, well, that's something to remember.
Teacup. Interesting.
It'll change tomorrow to coffee cake if you want to come back. Because if you just want to give me more money, that would work too.
Well, I mean,
I mean, you and I are friends now, aren't we?
Do I get more money for being your friend?
Absolutely. More money
Then
for
we
me.
can be the
me.
best of friends.
hey,
I like to know the names of my friends. My
hey,
name is Jack.
Hank.
oh, never.
They miss Hank.
Nice, Hank. Thank you. Is your last name Hill by any chance? It's just a friend of mine.
No. Green.
Hank Green.
Hank Green. Green as in money. I like that. Oh, by the way, if two people come over this way and I describe what Charlie looks like and Ricardo looks like, would you just let them in? And I'll make it right on the way out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Thank you. All right. Any beverage you'd recommend down in there?
Oh, they'll all burn on the way down. So it's just how much burn you want.
I understand. Thanks, Hank. And then I just kind of walk on in the speakeasy.
The speakeasy is mostly empty. There's about 2 other people inside. Jasper, you do not see Mukonga inside. And the people in here seem to be kind of a mixed company. They're none of them look particularly wealthy. Ethnically, they're both the 2 people to see to diverse on their own. But everything seems all right.
Cool. Ezekiel, shall we wait for the others to come before we do anything drastic or any action?
The only action I'm going to take right now is a drink. Can I buy you a drink? I'd love to buy you a drink.
I would like a soda if they have it. I know it's not the drink of a speakeasy, but I would rather always keep a clear head.
I'd give you the world if I could, Jasper. And I go to the bartender and I ask for whatever it is, whatever that you would recommend, and a soda, if you have it,
Yes.
or if not,
I
a
believe,
club soda.
the correct terminology is
Fizzy
pop.
pop.
Yeah.
I would like a fizzy pop.
No, we're not doing that. No, absolutely fuck no. And I'm mad at both of you, in game and as people. And yeah, fix your life. Anyway, Keeper, I ask for a soda, not a fizzy pop, and whatever alcoholic beverage that he would recommend.
The man at the counter is darker skin, but you can't tell if he's more Italian or some other ethnicity. He looks at you and he goes, "Right, I've got a Coca-Cola for 5 cents. I can get you some rat gut for 10. If you want to splurge, you do have wine for 75 cents."
I give him $1 and I take the wine and the Coca-Cola.
All right, and he hands you 20 cents back, and he does
hand the
pour
20
you a
cents
glass.
back to him. I'm trying to tip you. Believe that's how this works.
Oh, all right, sure. And he pours a glass of wine and hands you a can of Coca-Cola.
All right.
Yeah, I think they
This
have
is the
cans in
1920s, right? Is
They have
there
cans in the 20s.
is there actual Coke in this Coca-Cola?
This is what we've devolved into. This is where we're at.
I just
love
want to
it.
know if my character is actually going to be drinking Coca-Cola.
Technically, yes, because 1929 was when they began using cocaine-free coca leaf extract, and this is 1924.
Yes, it has
All right,
small amounts of cocaine into it. It's the good
Sweet.
stuff is from
Cool.
hours of 1904.
I'm happy that you knew
I'm
that.
not going to do that. I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to act like I did some cocaine. Just so we're aware. I will drink the soda though.
This has been history class with ReeRoles. So, we will say you all are able to get comfortable, and a short while later, Charlie and Ricardo arrive. You two are allowed inside, and you see your companion seated at a table. By this time, the speakeasy has started to pick up a bit. Now, I will say there's about 4 people, not counting yourselves. And I leave the story to you all.
As soon as Charlie comes in and sits down, I say he isn't here anymore.
Who isn't here?
The one that we were trying to follow. And then I tell Ricardo what happened when we were trying to follow. What's his name again?
Mukonga.
Mukonga. The one that Hilton mentioned.
Do we know where they went? Or have an idea?
No. The last time we saw him, he went in here. And now that we're in here, he's not in here. And maybe we could ask our new friend. And then I look at Ezekiel.
You would like me to ask Hank?
Yes.
Well, you gave him 50. He probably
Have
likes
a
you
lot
more.
more money.
Well, yes, but he probably likes you more because of that.
I'm sure he likes us both equally.
No, no, Jasper. You light up every room that you're in, and I'm me. And you gave him more money. So
No problem then. I mean, maybe we can ask him to sit with us for a little bit.
no. Please
Oh,
no.
why not?
What I just make muttering sounds of confusion, of wild surgical confusion, until I eventually stop.
All right. Well, I'll go and ask him, and I stand up to go and ask him.
All right. He is still at his post at the door. So,
I take out a cigarette and offer one to him if he smokes.
sure. He does take the cigarette, but he does not smoke. He puts it in the pocket.
Well, I'm gonna smoke on the next to him because not next
Sure.
to him, not in his place. I said I would like to have a cigarette, and I've just been
Sure.
busy here today.
Sure. Well, what do you say? What do you ask?
I say, been busy here today?
Oh, well, it's early afternoon, so not really. It's mostly the people who didn't leave before the sun came up.
Hmm. I did see somebody walking out earlier around 2, and he was drunk out of his mind.
Yeah, he was not doing too well.
Is he a regular?
Oh, not quite. He's been coming here more often. One of those financial people, the ones working with the bank and all that about the wolves something or something about the market. I never cared too much about finances before, outside of whatever I held in my own pocket, but
Hmm. Do you guys have a lot of regulars?
well, there are people who like to be here.
Hmm. I'm looking for someone. Would you help
All
me?
right. Sure.
And I do help all of my friends. There was this one guy earlier that had come in, and I described the guy. Do you know him?
You see his face fall for a moment, and he goes, "Listen, you shouldn't be talking to Mr. Omdaughty. He's got the juju, and I would just recommend you give him a wide space."
Understandable. I would like to give him a wide space, if that is what you recommend. And to do that, I'd have to know if he's even here. If he left already.
Roll either a charm or persuade roll with a penalty dice.
Why with a penalty? I'm giving him money. We're friends.
I will say giving him money, if you are giving him, especially if you give him $50 again, it'll negate the penalty dice, so you can roll even. Because he is afraid.
What?
He's
Charm
afraid.
or
Charm or
psychology?
persuade. Charm or persuade.
Oh, persuade.
Yep.
Where's my persuade? And where's my charm? All right, my charm is not too terrible. Damn it!
You are welcome to push the roll if you'd like.
I just don't want him to hate me. That's the main thing. I want him to be my best friend. I want Hank and I to be best friends for the rest of my life. no matter how long or short it may be.
Well, maybe you should take a bigger interest in Hank's hobbies. Yeah, like Hank, what kind of things do you sell?
Propane and propane accessories.
Whoa,
Like,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
We have a
anyway,
son. Is his name Bobby?
Robert, actually.
all right, I'll roll. I'll push it. Just just don't make him hate me. He can clam up and all that. Just don't make him hate me. I already love him. I already love Hank Green.
I have no control over what happens. The dice decide.
Just don't make me hate him. Make him awkward if I
The
fail,
dice-
but don't make him hate me. I'm gonna be very upset. I want him to love me.
If you would like to push the roll, you may.
All right, I'll push it. Ha! Success!
Pushing the roll and failing, that would be how you get him to hate you.
He looks around and in a very hushed voice he goes, "Look, I don't know if he's still here. He might have gone out the proper entrance, but just avoid him and don't tell him that I told him anything."
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear the last part.
He said, "Don't tell him that I've said anything."
I would never betray you, Hank. You're my friend. And then I give him $50 for all his help.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Okay, sure.
Just gave the man $100. How much is that in 1920?
It's $100.
Incredible. It is an incredible amount of money, actually.
Dollars in 1920. Worth today.
Roughly $787.
Oh, about yeah.
You paid his rent for a year.
Sweet. Good for him. He deserves it.
It might be longer than that. You also might have bought him a large portion of an automobile. Oh, sweet.
I think he literally can go buy a house now in 1920.
Yes.
Stay
Good for
at a
him.
luxury hotel for the next 3 weeks.
You use that for whatever you may need.
Could rent an entire apartment for ever.
Literally forever.
No, well, as you are giving people their multiple months' wages for conversation.
Saving their life. You know, like
But-
he can quit being this speakeasy guard forever. Which is great. I love that for him.
What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
I'm sipping my wine, trying to create a plan.
Okay. Ezekiel is rolling ideas over in their mind.
Charlie got like a glass of wine and he's smoking a cigarette and just kind of looking around at everybody, trying to see if there's like any exits they might have missed or anything that looks inside.
You do see there is a door, a pathway that leads from behind where the barkeep was. You don't know where that leads.
Okay.
All right. And Ricardo, what are you doing?
Ricardo is having a drink and thinking about the Juju house. He's very eager to sneak in and try to find stuff because he is very curious about what kinds of occult secrets that they may uncover there. Not to mention, of course, the actual cult that we're trying to, kind of stop from doing bad things.
You're sitting there how long do you spend in this speakeasy today?
Well, do we have anywhere to be tonight?
Tell me. Will do.
Or I guess technically we can stay till we're ready to go do stuff.
Are you all are you all going home for the night? Let me put it that way.
No, Ezekiel floats the idea of why don't we just break in? Why don't we just investigate the Juju house again tonight? We know that there's a rug that sags in, the floor. It probably leads to a basement or second level, however you want to spin it. There's stuff going on. It feels
Might
like
as
we're
well
running.
strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah, it feels like we're running out of time with the moonlight and more people may be dying and Hilton is running out of time. Like what advantage is there in waiting one more night?
I'm all for it.
Might be able to find some evidence to.
Yeah. We need to come back. We do need weapons. We do need to arm ourselves in case something goes wrong, but
I have my gun and I carry it everywhere I go.
Same.
Anybody else have a weapon?
I carry my gun everywhere.
And I smile at Ricardo. Do you want a shovel?
I think that would be a little too conspicuous. Perhaps some other sharp implement with a little bit of reach on it, so I don't have to get too close. Might be afraid to handle guns. I don't have any practice with them, but swinging simple things is fairly straightforward.
I don't do this, but I really want to. I really want to grab one of the bottles and just smash it on the table. How about this? But I don't do it. I want to, but I don't.
All right. So, if your goal is to arm yourselves, I will say it is getting late, but I would say, well, Jasper would have enough money to afford weapons of all kinds, and it is the United States of America, so it is not difficult.
How much is it? Like $5? How much is a gun? $5? Sure.
I don't think guns are $5.
I mean, a whole apartment is like $100 apparently.
It depends on the type of gun, right? Like, obviously,
Oh,
quality
actually,
and stuff matters.
You could get a cheap Belgian shotgun of serviceable quality for $3 through the
See?
Sears catalog.
Right, but then you have to wait for
could.
shipping and all that.
Is there a
It
place
looks
to buy
like most guns were between $15 to $25.
Oh,
it?
If you wish to get your hands on revolvers or other similar guns, you can do so.
I'll buy a revolver.
Okay. I will say, buy guns and giving away money is starting to put some strain on Jasper's finances. Not too much, but you did exactly come to New York with all of the money, so may be difficult if you keep throwing money. But for now, you're fine. So you guys are able to buy enough ammo for a couple of days as well. But with that decided, you are making your way to the Juju house once again.
indeed. Off to the Juju house.
Does it
Oh,
look closed?
yes, at this time it is dark. Let's see. They've closed up for good.
I would say back door.
Agree.
Or window, I guess. Wherever we can easily find a way in.
All right. Want to break in? So, first I need a group luck roll.
All right, give me a
Sorry,
minute.
Jasmine. Sorry. I
There,
messed up.
that's the luck roll.
Might succeed. Okay. So, as you are attempting to approach this door, I need either a locksmith roll or a strength roll. If you use the strength roll, you need a hard success.
I have no locksmith of that. Does anybody else have one?
I got 1 point in it,
I too have 1 point in it.
but I have 50 strength.
Oh, you're a lot stronger than me, Charlie. I only have 35.
I have a 1 locksmith. So yes, very high.
So, who's going to try and kick the door open?
Can I help? I also have 50 strength.
Sure.
Oh yeah, my
I would
strength
say
is super low.
You can each roll separately to see if either one of you is success, or you can give one person a bonus die.
But I'm gonna give how do you want to do this, Ezekiel?
I don't know if there's any statistical advantage one way or another.
Yeah.
So why don't I think narratively it might make more sense if like you kick it then I kick it, you know what I mean? That type
Yeah.
of thing. So you just want to how about you roll first and then you can make the decision like, oh, I
Yeah.
want to push it, spend the luck, yada yada.
Yeah.
So on.
Let's see. Uh, I'll let you go because
Alright.
I know not gonna spend the luck for that.
All right, I kick it. I don't have a lot of luck.
Both attempt to kick in the door, but it is surprisingly sturdy.
Alright.
Right. Either go at the door or do you want to try a window?
Kick it one more time. I'll kick it one more time.
Yeah.
Okay. If you are going to push the roll, how are you doing it differently this time?
Oh, sure, I can tell you how. So the first time I probably kicked at or around the door handle area keeper. So what I'm gonna do differently is so if the door handle is here, right? I'm gonna kick off to the side and see if we did enough damage to make other parts of the door lose its integrity.
Mm.
Does that make sense to you? Okay, because that's something I learned that as a prosecutor, kids. I'm going to kick it. Strength. Keeper, can I push this roll?
You've already pushed the roll.
Can I
That's
push it
how we
again,
are.
Keeper? Keeper,
No.
can I remix the push the roll?
No.
This can't be
no,
D&D
no.
where doors are deadlier than dragons. It can't happen to me in every game.
No,
Okay.
no.
I mean, only if the door is a mimic, right?
So,
No,
The door could be a
Ezekiel
mimic.
kicks the door the second time. There's a silence, and then you begin to hear footsteps coming toward you. What do you do?
Footsteps from the door or outside?
Outside. The alleyway, specifically, that is by your house.
I'm gonna hide.
Sure, you could roll stealth with the penalty dice because there isn't exactly a lot of places to hide right here.
I'm going to pretend to be drunk.
Okay.
And
sure.
I'm going to lean on Ricardo and try to look drunk, and make it seem that us kicking the door is just us being drunk.
Okay. Roll persuade. I'll roll this in with charm. Could make a charm roll.
All right, let's roll a charm.
All right. So Jasper's trying to be drunk. Charlie, Ezekiel, what are you trying?
Is there like, is the back area, is there like a gate around it at all?
No.
Okay. I think Charlie's gonna step out just to see like who's coming. And then I'll formulate a plan from there, like if he can peek around and see who it is.
It seems you see three large-ish African American people. They are wearing jackets that are with the hoods up that are kind of making it hard to see their faces, so you aren't exactly sure any facial, any identifying details. But there are three of them. They all seem to be coming toward you.
Do the hoods look similar to like the descriptions we've had before?
No, not from what you can see. These seem to just be jackets.
I'm gonna dunk back and be like make a motion like we should get out of here.
All right, you have seconds to make a decision. So, Ricardo, what are you doing?
Ricardo is going to follow Charlie's advice and start making his way toward the exit, assuming everybody else is.
It's
making
not
a
a
move.
dead end, right? It's an alleyway
No.
that you can go the opposite
You
way.
just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can just leave. Jasper, seconds to go. Are you sticking with playing drunk?
Well,
Are
if
you going
everybody's leaving, then I will follow. I'm not gonna be drunk by myself.
Okay, Ezekiel, are you running as well? Or are you trying something?
Yeah, I am going to run, and as I run, I'm going to have my gun in my pocket in case I need to use it, and I'm just going to go. I'm just going to take off.
Okay. Charlie, are you also leaving?
I was the one who suggested it, yes!
No, Charlie
right.
decided to stick around.
I mean, we all have choices. And so the four investigators are fleeing from their failed attempt to break into a door. I think that'll be a beautiful opportunity for us to end our game for the evening. Allow me to thank you all for playing with me, and for you all for watching us do all of this as these wonderful people attempt to save Harlem from all kinds of things, and apparently sad financial issues as well. So really quickly, feel free to join us next week for episode 8. So this first season is starting to come to its end. You all are surviving pretty well as well. If you want to join our Discord, there should be a link in the chat here in a moment to help you do just that, because this game was casted from there. So if you wish to help, if you wish to join, you should try and do so. If you want to find more wonderful games, you can check out the Mixstabber Studios page, where they do all kinds of stuff. I believe, this Friday, the Werewolves are taking part in Queen's Gambit, and they are attempting to do, probably going to fight something. Maybe they'll be friendly with things, who knows. And then that Saturday, both Call of Cthulhu and Vampire the Masquerade return, so you should definitely go and give both of those up. And then Sunday, you can rejoin us here. Well, that's enough for me. It is up for these wonderful people to tell you where you can find them and what they're doing all over the internet. And Simone Shadow said, why don't you start us off?
Hi, I am Ari. You can see me here on Fridays tormenting Ree. Also, I have social media, but I don't use it. I just don't.
Very, very, very descriptive. Very descriptive. Inkblood, your turn.
Hey everybody, you can find me here in this game. You can find me on Ree's Discord as well. I want everyone to join up there. It's a great place filled with great people. You can follow me on the McStabber Studio Discord, and I play in that Call of Cthulhu game on Saturday because I just love abuse, and you should join that Discord and because it's also filled with wonderful people. You can find me on Twitter occasionally. I don't use as much as I should. You can find me on Start Playing under Inkblood Demon. I run games, and honestly, people, join the games, join the casting calls, have fun with us.
All right, next up, Classical Glyso.
Everyone, Glyza here. I am everywhere on the internet as at Classical Glyza. I do have a couple of games coming up. One is a charity game to celebrate Filipino American month of October. So that's going to be on October 9th on, let me actually just pull it up. It's going to be on Roll D5. I'm going to put it on my link, which I will update bio.link/Classical Glyza, but everywhere else on the internet is at Classical Glyza. If you have found an at Classical Glyza, guess what? You found me. And that's it for me.
All right, last but certainly not least, Sir Monolith.
Yeah, I'm at Sir Monolith on the internet, but you can mostly just find me here, just like Ari tormenting Ree, and trying to produce somewhat interesting stories for in concert with it.
Yeah, so and one more thing, there will be a new casting call coming probably in the next 2 months. So if you wish to have an opportunity to join this wonderful cast, I strongly recommend you take it. But that is enough from us tonight. Please join us next week as our investigators attempt to fight back the darkness. Bye-bye.